If you're the quiet one in the room, that silence isn't empty. It's your brain running worst-case simulations of what everyone is thinking. The longer you stay quiet, the louder those simulations get, until what feels like being introverted is actually just a misfired self-protection instinct. You're not broken. Your internal safety alarm is just too sensitive. Here's the first thing to do when you feel that social anxiety creeping in, especially if you see someone you know but haven't spoken to in a while. Instead of avoiding them or forcing a big, confident hello, use this simple line. Hey, it's been a minute. I feel like we keep missing each other. This is a low-risk entry. It acknowledges the awkwardness without pretending you're a social butterfly. You're not faking confidence. You're using honesty to break the tension. In almost every case, the other person is relieved you said something first, and the pressure instantly dissolves for both of you. Why does this work so well? Your brain absolutely hates missing data, especially social data. When it doesn't know what the other person is thinking, it doesn't assume the best. It fills the gaps with imagined danger, judgment, rejection, awkwardness. This isn't your intuition talking. It's a faulty safety algorithm that defaults to fear. By saying, I feel like we keep missing each other, you give your brain and their brain a simple, non-threatening piece of information to focus on. It anchors the interaction in a shared, neutral reality, shutting down the negative simulations. The problem isn't you, it's the lack of data. And that one sentence provides it. Now, let's talk about the modern problem that makes this 10 times worse for quiet people. We spend so much time interacting through screens that our brains are losing their ability to read real-world social signals. We get less exposure to real faces, vocal tones, and subtle Because of this, your nervous system starts to mislabel neutral social situations as high-risk threats. The coffee shop line, the office hallway, the party, they all start to feel like dangerous territory. Your brain has been trained by digital distance to see social proximity as a potential problem. This isn't a personality flaw. It's a modern conditioning issue. So, how do we fix it? We need to retrain your brain. And the next tip is how you do it without ever having to start a single conversation. Here is the simple exercise to reset your social wiring. Your goal for the next 7 days is to have 5 tiny, harmless, non-verbal interactions. That's it. No conversations required. This could be making brief eye contact and giving a small nod to the barista. It could be holding a door for someone and offering a simple, closed-mouth smile. It could be letting another car merge into traffic and giving a quick wave. The goal isn't to become a great conversationalist overnight. The goal is to collect neutral data. Each one of these small acts quietly tells your brain, see, nothing bad happened. This is a safe interaction. Confidence doesn't grow from mental preparation. It grows from real-world exposure. These tiny moments are like calibration points for your nervous system, teaching it that the world is not as judgmental as your anxiety predicts. This brings us to the biggest mental sabotage that most quiet people fall victim to. You probably spend a lot of time rehearsing conversations in your head. You think about what you'll say if you run into your boss, or what witty remark you could make at a party. It feels productive, like you're preparing for success. But in reality, you're doing the exact opposite. This mental rehearsal creates what I call simulated safety. Your brain gets comfortable with a script, but real life is never scripted. When the real moment comes and the other person doesn't follow your script, your brain panics because its safety plan just failed. True social confidence isn't about having the perfect lines. It's about developing the ability to adapt in unscripted moments. And you can only build that adaptability by putting yourself in those moments, not by simulating them in your head. So, the next tip involves a crucial mental shift that changes everything. Stop trying to perform correctly and start trying to collect evidence. Instead of going into a social situation with the goal of being impressive or not being awkward, change your goal to simply observing what actually happens. Your mission is to be a data scientist of your own social life. Did you say hello to a coworker? Great. What was their actual reaction? Did they give a quick smile and say, "Hi, backlog that data"? That is evidence that a simple greeting is safe. Did you ask a cashier how their day was? What happened? Did they answer politely? Marty evidence. Your brain doesn't update its beliefs based on your imagination. It updates based on action and its real-world consequences. When you focus on collecting evidence, you take the pressure off yourself to perform and start building a library of proof that social interactions are far safer than your anxiety tells you. Now, why does just collecting data work better than trying to be confident? Because trying to be confident puts all the focus on you and your internal feeling. It's a performance goal, and performances create pressure. But when your goal is to collect data, the focus shifts outward. You're not judging yourself. You're observing the world. This external focus naturally lowers self-consciousness and anxiety. You're no longer the actor on stage, terrified of forgetting your lines. You're the scientist in the lab, curious about the outcome of the experiment. This small change in mission from performing to observing is the fastest way to quiet the inner critic and let your natural social abilities emerge. Each piece of data you collect that shows a neutral or positive outcome rewires your brain's threat response. Layer by layer, let's quickly recap the entire strategy. First, when you feel the anxiety of seeing someone you know, break the ice by acknowledging the missed connection. A simple, "Hey, it's been a minute," diffuses the tension for everyone. Second, start retraining your brain with 5 nonverbal, harmless interactions over 7 days. A nod, a smile, holding a door. The goal is to collect neutral data, not to have amazing conversations. Third, stop rehearsing conversations in your head. This creates a false sense of safety that crumbles in real life. Instead, shift your mindset from performing to collecting evidence. Go into social situations with the simple goal of observing what really happens. This takes the pressure off and allows your brain to update its safety map based on reality, not fear. The most important thing to remember is this: social ease is not a personality trait you reborn with or without. It is a learned familiarity with social uncertainty. Every small, low-stakes interaction you have is a lesson for your brain. Each nod, each smile, each brief hello is you teaching your nervous system over and over that this is safe. You're not faking it until you make it. You are practicing it until it becomes your new normal. You build confidence not by thinking about it, but by taking one tiny, manageable step at a time. Thanks for watching. If this helped you, give it a like and consider subscribing for more practical ways to navigate the world with a little less anxiety.